told you the only time I go to Green Bay to watch a game is in September.
There you go.
That'd be it.
But this was a great game. I liked it. I mean, from the fact that Aaron Rodgers proved that he's got some grit, man. This is a tough guy to do on one leg. And, I mean, we know Cowboys defense is one of those.
Suspect.
Yeah, suspect at best. But watching Tony Romo, you just got to give the guy some respect now, man. This label where he was, Romo's choking, Romo's this, everything like that.
I can't put this on Romo at all.
No, I can't put this on. Yeah, you can't put it on Romo. DeMarco Murray had a solid game, 25, 123, one touchdown.
That dude's a monster. So, if they don't re-sign him, they're a bunch of morons.
So this was a great game.
Which I hope they don't.
And this is what you, as fans, were expecting when both of these teams are 8-0. Vice versa, one each other, one at home, one away, as I said previously. This was a great game to watch. And and for it to come down to play like that, I would love to see them kind of see what can they do, because there was still like a minute sometime left on the clock for them to,
It would have made for better drama if they would have let them score the touchdown.
Exactly.
And then had Aaron Rodgers with the body and everything.
And then Aaron Rodgers on one calf, can he bring them back to see can he get them within range to win the game?
That would have been fun.
That would have been some nice theatrics there.
I would have, yeah.
Everybody's talking about that. I'm scared to call my dad, man, because he's a Cowboys fan. I work with one of my coworkers. He didn't speak to nobody for 3 days because the Cowboys lost. That's how bad he was taking it. And all he said was on third day, blown call. He didn't say no other words but blown call. And he finally talked today. So
what you should have done was walked in with a Lions hat and went, "They got it right."
Well, no, one of my buddies he roots for the Lions, and he was like,
"Karma's up there."
Yeah, that's what he said. So. All right,
which is true.
Let's move on to the other game.
Oh, y'all have fun.
This is the Colts and the Broncos. It was 24-13. The Colts went ahead and pulled the upset.
I think I said if the Colts won, I wouldn't be surprised.
You did say that.
I didn't pick them, but I said if they won, I would not be surprised at all.
So, Kevin, I'll let you go first and let you hear, and then you'll hear from me and Zach. So.
I've been saying it since... When did I start? When did I start saying Peyton don't look right? It's before he got hurt. No, it's before he got really got hurt. No.
Go ahead.
Before the Oakland game, before he hurt his leg and everything, I told Cortez something didn't look right about Peyton Manning. Right before the Oakland game, when they started really going to the running game, I told Cortez that something didn't look right with Peyton and that something was going on. And I know that everything came out that he had a torn hamstring and it was bruised all the way around and everything like that. But something just did not look right with Peyton. And it hasn't looked right with me for a while. When you're used to seeing a guy with put zip on the ball and everything like that, it just seemed like he didn't have it like he used to have it anymore with that. And I think I told you, I know it's been at least a couple months that I said something didn't look right in Peyton. And lo and behold, something wasn't right with Peyton. I know it just happened at the Oakland game, but I'm not taking any credit that I said it way before then, but I did.
Zach, our guest, go ahead and go.
All right. I'll counter that with saying that our dearly beloved Peyton Manning, he hasn't had his fastball, we'll call it that, for a couple of years now. And I'll say it even before he got his neck surgery. So the thing with Peyton Manning is he's very good he's a very good mental guy when it comes to playing on offense. He adjusts his game. How he adjusts his game is instead of getting the ball where it needs to be at the fastest point, getting the ball where it's going to be where he thinks the wide receivers are going to be and whatnot. So with that said, something was up, and I took notice of it, and I took notice of it at the St. Louis Rams game, where they ran like 14 times, and we just saw Peyton Manning just air raid the St. Louis Rams, and he hasn't been looking the same. And I was quick to sit here and judge after Sunday's game, saying he needs to hang it up, but I have enough faith and trust in Peyton Manning to know that if he doesn't think that he can play anymore at a top level, he's going to call it quits. He's not going to look like a fool out there. He's not going to be put on the bench next year. He's not going to be put in that situation. So I really do believe if he decides to come back that I'll have enough trust in it to play at a full level.
I'm just worried if he gets hurt again.
I mean, yeah, that's
because he's up there with me.
I don't know if you guys have ever had a torn quad or a bruised quad. It's not a very fun feeling.
Yeah, he's up there in age with me, where it takes you like 4 weeks after I go play basketball. Well, me and him are on totally different levels. But after I go and play a game for like 3 or 4 hours, I can barely walk for freaking 2 weeks. So I can only imagine. I know he's getting up there and up there and up there in age. Well, I keep saying that. Well, how old is Peyton? 38? Maybe 38, 39. So, me and him are about close to the same age. And I know it's got to be hard on him to come back from injury.
He'll think about it. I mean, like I said, I trust him. I mean, if he does, like I said, he's not going to come out and look like a fool next year.
He's selling a shitload of pizza to
He's too prideful for that.
He's selling a shitload of pizza to a bunch of potheads in Colorado, so I think he's set.
You know what I hate though? I hate stats about playoff records. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Peyton Manning's 11-13. He's lost the most amount of playoff games.
Thank you.
Can we give him a little credit that he's lost the most amount of playoff games? Like, that's a bad stat. I mean, at least he made it to the freaking playoffs.
It's like Kobe shooting the most.
He's 11-13. He's lost 13. I mean, that means he's made it to the playoffs at least 14 times. I mean, good grief!
I think
I'm so sick of seeing that.
I think he's made it all but 2 times.
Yeah. And like it's a team sport. It's and like the teams get grouped. Like it's like we completely forget about the team's record. It just all lays on Peyton Manning. Yeah.
All right. I watched this game and discuss
and yelling,
and
mumbling,
and finally, the third quarter, I just came to accept it that the Denver Broncos was not going to get out with a win here. I'm watching this game and I'm seeing Peyton overthrown some passes that definitely. I've seen Thomas had a couple guys beat. Sanders had a couple guys beat. There was actually some pass he threw for Warrants on the money, and Demaryius Thomas had a couple of drops. It just reverted back to week 1 when he was playing the Colts and just kept dropping passes. This game was very frustrating to watch, not only on the offense side of the ball, but on the defense side of the ball too. And the Colts is not known for having a spectacular run offense, and they seem to go ahead and actually control the time possession with running the ball, along with Andrew Luck killing us with short pass and everything like that. The really frustrating thing about watching Denver was that the undergo routes and the cut routes and the flat routes was being particularly guarded well. Whatever Pagano was doing a pretty good job of doing that and was daring us to go deep. And actually must have been like, okay, well, maybe like Kevin saw, Zach saw that this guy zip game or what it is, deep ball is not what it was and pass. So it was very hard to watch that. C.J. Anderson started off pretty strong. We went away from the run a little bit because we were trying to catch up. But it was a little frustrating to watch. And it was this defense that we have brought in a little bit. I'm talking about T.J. Ward.
What was it, the $40 million defense?
The
$50 million defense.
DeMarcus Ware, Akil Talib.
No pressure.
It was just...
No pressure.
It was sad to see, and it was like, listen, and the funny thing was, Andrew Luck actually turned over the ball to give us chances. I was like,
twice.
I said, Andrew Luck is going to turn over the ball. That's what he at this point in his career right now. That's what he's doing.
That's what he do.
That's what he's doing. I was like, so he giving you chances to come back into this game, but it's just we never could turn that corner to come back on it. I'm waiting for it, and then we're just in the midway of the third quarter, and just look. I ain't even yelling anymore.
I was watching it. You look like somebody like.
Yeah, it was just final stage of acceptance. I was like,
what I don't want to see happen though is Peyton come back, and then much like when Dan Marino's last year, because I always say the last game of Dan Marino's career, I witnessed. And
my God! It was 62-13 or something.
No,
like that,
it was
right?
62-7. Peyton Manning didn't, Dan Marino, and it's the anniversary of that game, by the way. 20 or 15 years ago today, or something like that. We killed.
Put that in your TBT.
Yeah, we ended. Yeah, we ended Dan Marino and Jimmy Johnson's career in Miami.
No.
But I don't want to see that kind of thing happen to Peyton. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Peyton, but you just don't want to see it. The people that were good. You don't.
You guys are a little bit older than I am, and no offense.
A little.
I mean, I'm 25 years old.
God.
And I can't think of a single time that I can remember that Peyton Manning, other than the season that he was injured for the entire season, I can't think of a time without Peyton Manning. And then that's just like, if we're all gonna miss him. Like, if you love him or you hate him, you're gonna miss him if that was his last game.
Mm-hmm. And I saw that Zach retweet. I was like, you know what, that was on point, and I agree with that. Now, someone brought this up to me, and it was a good, it was a good food for thought at work. So Peyton Manning has been successful as far as regular season and everything, as far as regular like that. Now, when Peyton Manning went down, this how much important Peyton Manning is to a team. When he went down that cold season, how many games they won?
One.
Two.
Yeah, they won two.
They won two?
They won two.
Okay. Now, when Tom Brady went down, Matt Castle replaced him, right? And they
won 11 games.
They won 11 games.
They missed the playoffs, though,
They missed the playoffs by one game.
And missed the playoffs by one game. Yeah. So that tell you as far as like the scheme, as Kevin was preaching about the Patriots.
The Patriots they're a different animal because of their coach. They have a great connection with the coach and quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have great. Oh, wait, no, we don't.
Any quarterback he could put in, a lot of quarterbacks where he could put in there, as long as they're familiar with the system, he can adapt. Right. And he got a lot of talent around the quarterback.
Yeah, and I guess that's what it is there. I'm not trying to discredit Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is still a beast and probably one of the best that's going to play this game. But that is foretelling there that Peyton Manning is. I know now his playoff success is not there. For a guy who can run the offense from the line of scrimmage, see things like that, I think better than anybody else. Like Zach said, should get some credit. And we're going to miss this guy when we leave, because it's going to be. This is. I want to say even him and Brady are like one of these once in like every few quarterbacks you've seen, and now the way the quarterback position is going nowadays, we don't. The element of the pocket passer is going to be.
Well, you get a couple. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree.
Because I think the pocket passer is. Because now everybody's figured out how to handle most of these running quarterbacks. Everybody that thought the next generation of quarterback that was coming in with your Kaepernicks and all that were going to be the wave. Now look at them. Now they're all bumped. Now they're all bumped.
We're going to go ahead and describe Peyton Manning, though. There's nothing scrambling with him.
Like, no.
He had, was at one point, even if you have a bum quad,
he has the movement of a sloth.
20 yards to get 5 yards. 20 yards of space to get 5 yards. And that man decided to, try to throw it up.
He moves like a sloth. But
I was like, come on.
But these guys are once or twice in a generation type quarterbacks that you see these guys come along. You see these great super being of the quarterback position come along. And when they get paired up with the right coach, it becomes even greater. Hence the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick thing. Because when Peyton came in, you got to think he was under Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy, defensive mind. But he had Peyton. Peyton was able to dissect everything. Everywhere Peyton has went, there's always been a defensive guy that's been the coach.
Yeah.
If you look at it. Everywhere he's been. Because he's almost the offensive coordinator.
He's pretty much the offense. Yeah, you're right.
By himself. He's a pretty... So, you don't have to worry about anything when you got a guy like that on the field on the one side. But you got to make sure that defense is shored up so we can help him along. Peyton really never... The 1 year he had a really good defense in Indianapolis.
Was his last year. Was his last year before he left.
In Indianapolis, he had a good defense.
Yeah.
He had... One time he had a really good defense. Other times they were mid-pack and beyond, but because of Peyton, they were able to exceed their expectations.
See, that's what John Elway saw when he went out after all those guys this past offseason. Is defense wins championships. I mean, we could talk about that all day. I mean, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New York Giants, the
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens,
the Seahawks last year.
Seahawks. And when Green Bay when they won their Super Bowl, they had a great defense. A.J. Hawk, Clay Matthews, they still have those guys, but and that was one of the biggest downfalls of this past game is I mean, if you look at the Broncos defense this year, look at their on paper, you'll be like, wow, it's a great defense, the top 5 defense. But the Broncos didn't have the big play defense. Like when they really needed to stop this year, they couldn't come up with it, and that's what happened. And the Broncos held, Andrew Luck to 24 points, and that's